This is Ramon B. Newis Jr. and I am here with Ted Rubin.
How are you? Very good to see you.
I'm okay, man. I'm doing well on this fine New York City day. Thank you so much for Big Fuel for loaning us your offices to shoot this video. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So the first question we're talking about today is contact management strategies. And specifically, when we go to an event and we say hi to somebody, shake their hand, we exchange cards, but there's never a follow-up. There's never hey Ted, how you doing? It was great to see you. Give me some of your thoughts about that.
Well, Ray, you know this is a pet peeve of mine. And it goes beyond just conferences. It goes to simple meetings. It goes to bumping into somebody in the street. The lack of follow-up is incredible. And some of it goes towards what I talk about in social, about how you click a button and you're friends with somebody on Facebook and then you move on. And you know how we have to take the word friend back. But we also have to take our contact abilities back, in that you need to know who people are, and you shouldn't be asking a person for their card 5 times. I can't tell you how annoying it is to me when somebody gets involved with me in something, or we're on social, I've met them, I've given them my card a number of times, and then they say, well, what's your email address? And in some ways I don't mind it, because it gives me a step up.
Sure.
Because I'm the guy that comes back from every conference, and I tell this to everybody when I'm speaking at the conferences. Look at the people next to you. You're meeting all these great people. When you get back, within 48 hours, at most 72 hours, reach out to them. Connect with them. Don't only connect with them on social channels, which I think is very important. So I connect with everybody via LinkedIn, via Twitter, via Facebook, as long as they're on those channels. I write a personal note to each one of them. I don't just friend them. I don't just send a LinkedIn request. The only one I just follow on is Twitter, because it's accepted there. But the other ones, I'll write a note, like it was great meeting you. If I remember something we talked about, I might make a note about it. Looking forward to seeing you again, and I look to connect with them. But then beyond that, I take the cards, and I have them either myself or I have somebody help me, and I enter them all into my contact management system. Now I happen to just use Google and Gmail, and I put it right in there, but it's really that simple. I put on all the information from the card, but I got to tell you, most people don't do that. People within my own organization will constantly ask me for contact information.
But why? Why do you think it's the case? I mean, and this is even before social. All right, this has generally been the common practice. I mean, I've gone to conferences before social media exploded, and it was the same thing there too. It's like I'll meet people and they'll say, "Hey, can I get your email address again?" I'm like,
this is not just about social. This is about learning to network. This is about learning to build up relationships and get to know people. And the problem, it's gotten worse, I think, with social. People go, well, we're connected on LinkedIn.
Right.
Well, fine. If you go to LinkedIn and you pull out all that contact information and put it somewhere else, but you can't search it the same way. You don't have the ability to grab an email address the same way. Very often, they have their personal email addresses in LinkedIn, not their business email addresses, their personal phone numbers, different things. But it goes beyond that, okay? What I try to do is I want to know who those people are. So I make notes on cards. If I had a conversation, little notes of things that were said, something that's a thing that'll help me remember them. But more than that, which is very easy, and you don't have to take notes at the time, because that can be difficult, especially with their fancy cards these days. It's not really even hard to write on, is I label every one of those cards from every conference with the conference that I met them at. So, met Ray at 140 Conf, with the date of the conference, with the year of the conference.
And how about what you guys spoke of? Do you actually add that sometimes?
I was just saying that. If I had time to make a note on the card, I'll do that. If I remember it later, just because that person stood out in my memory, I will make notes of that all the time. And then I go a step further. If we have an email interaction after that, via regular email, I will cut and paste that email into the notes in that section of things. Really? Because then it brings context to who you are.
I don't even do that.
And what it does for me is it allows me to bump into you at a conference. We're chatting. I step aside. I look a quick thing into my contacts, and I can talk to you about something that we talked about in the past. I can mention where we met last time. It goes beyond looking people in the eye digitally. It's looking people in the eye in real life and showing them that you care. Now, someone might say, well, this is all mechanical the way you do it. It's not that you really care. No, first of all, I did take the time, so I did care. Second of all, people don't look at it that way. They just feel connected to you, that you took that extra time to make that connection.
The fact that you went, I don't even do that, Ted. The fact that you went through all your workflow for keeping that contact relationship in place is pretty nuts.
I even do it with, let's just say I met you a few years ago, we were very active doing something together, then we didn't see each other for a couple of years, we reconnect, the next email that comes in, I won't keep every email on there, but the next email that comes in on a reconnection, I will put it in there also.
Right.
And
So do you think maybe you're on a different level than everybody else, so to speak, where you're really taking that relationship to a whole, keeping that relationship, keeping all that content, all the information about the relationship to a different level?
I'm trying to, but it's not something that anybody else can't do. It's not something I don't share with people. I challenge people at conferences to make sure to connect with these people afterwards and keep the information. But I got to tell you that even younger employees who you would think this would be so important to them, build a network. They're told that all the time. They never file those cards into any kind of a database that they can search, that they can find easily.
But do you think because the young generation, they're so connected all the time that they don't really think about making sure that their phone number, their addresses, birthdays,
I don't think that they recognize that when they get into the business world, they're not connected that way. And that other people are connecting with thousands of people. And that, those little notes, those little reminders, something special that you put in there, or even, like, I will take things that are relevant. I'll also label things. If I know that when I go to Chicago, I want to meet with certain people. So I'll label certain things with Chicago in there, so I can go and search Chicago in my database. I'm going to Chicago. I should contact these 6 people because they said something like that. And then I use other tricks. I'll do that. I'll save an email just in my draft files with names of people who reach out to me via Twitter and say, hey, next time you're in Chicago, let me know. There's no way you're going to remember that. There's no way you're going to be able to do that via Twitter, but I'll make a little note with their Twitter handle so that I can do that next time. Because first of all, it shows that you care. It shows that you're following up. And it's just an amazing way to build contacts.
Now, as far as tools, you think Google has helped you keep better contact with people?
You know what? I'm really not. For me, it's just what I get used to. I'm a creature of habit. Any of these tools in a while, I used to love Outlook. I like it much better than Google, but now I switched over to Gmail. For everything, and I find that all you have to do is learn how to use that for me. It can be Salesforce, and that's what you're using a company. But I think it's important to keep it personal. If it's in Salesforce, it belongs to the company you're working for. You need to keep your own personal database because you're going to move along in your career.
So what is the one thing you wish that everybody did? Just that one thing.
I wish everybody would just keep track and save those contacts. And I wish people within my organization, the people that I work with, would save those things so they don't have to come back to me all the time asking me again and again for those things. I also save articles under topics in my database. So I'll have social marketing articles, I'll have Pinterest articles, and every time I come across one that's valuable, I'll save it in my contact management file so I can sit here in a meeting and easily pull it up. There's another thing I want to cover. I think there's very bad etiquette when it comes to setting up appointments. And look, guys like you, like me, I'm very busy. Very often I can have appointment after appointment after appointment. And I need to be able to look very quickly in my iPhone and know who I'm meeting or what I'm doing or what the next one is. Do I have leeway, whatever. And what I find is that people send out invites that are so inadequate. And it's so easy to make them adequate. So if I send something for you and I to do this filming here today at Big Fuel, I write in the subject, Ted Rubin and Ray Nuez, filming video at Big Fuel.
Right.
And then in the location, I put it. In the notes, I might put some notes about the topics we're going to cover. But also, when you look at it, I get invites all the time, and it says lunch with Ted.
Right.
And when I look at it in my calendar, I'm like, who am I having lunch with?
I'll have to say that I've actually done that with lots of people. I'll just say, lunch with John or lunch with Bill, because we just had a conversation about lunch.
But that's okay if it's on your calendar. But if you're inviting somebody, then you want to make it representative in their calendar so it means something to them.
I don't do that at all.
And I got to tell you that, again, with people that have a lot of time or work out of an office and don't go out a lot, it's not a big deal. But if you're on the road the way I am with John Andrews, Collective Bias, all the time, we're going appointment to appointment, I need to glance quick, see what's next, know that it's lunch with Ray, that it's lunch at Big Fuel, that whatever it is, put that information in there. Make it easy for people, and they're going to be that much more apt to want to do things with you.
You heard it right here. Make it easy and use whatever works for you. I mean, Google, Gmail, Outlook, Salesforce, note cards, use them. Connect. All right, guys. Thank you.
Have a great day.